Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to Kevy's One Stop Repairs. Well, today we're going to talk to you about how to load and offload the Arrow T-50 staple gun. This is also going to apply to every other staple gun out there on the market that has the same sort of loader on the bottom that functions the same way. Now, with the Arrow T-50, you can load different depths of staples. The ones I commonly use are the 10 millimeters that are in the box. And I buy them that they're specifically made for Arrow. You can get Arrow compatible staples and they'll work just fine too. But I like to use the actual Arrow branded ones, and this way I just know I won't have any problems. But I've used third-party ones, I haven't had problems. So these are the 10 millimeter deep staples. Now each strip is about that long, and you load the whole strip at once. So what you're going to do is you're going to push in, pull down, and pull out. Take your round, throw it in. Back in you go. That's simple. Push it in, let it pop up. Offload, same way. Okay, now I've got sections of staples here. Question would be, can I use them? Sure, why not? Load them up. They'll all stay in alignment in there, and I've never had a jam. Pop in, done, ready to fire. Okay, so that's how you load, that's how you offload. Well, other than, using the staples, right? So now we're going to take these out, because I store my staple gun without staples. Now, why is that? Well, if you look at this thing, it adds a lot of preload behind the staples. So this way you can cycle each staple through, and of course, as you go, it comes back out. Thing is, on any spring, I don't care what it's in, you don't want to keep that preload there all the time unless it's meant to be on all the time. Okay? So, certain things that are built in life have to always have that spring preloaded. That's just a given, right? But of course that spring, over time, because it's always under preload, and sometimes has to be, right? Because that's just the way it's built, they fatigue. Springs do get weak. Yes, they're made out of spring steel and blah, 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 but they still get weak. Okay? So in an item like this, where it doesn't have to be under preload all the time, except when staples are in it to be fired, when it's not being used, store it without staples. Now, I've had this staple gun for a lot of years, okay, and I've had a lot of usage out of it too, and I still have no play. Like, there's nothing you could measure for play here, so it's still just like it was factory new. So you add a lot of lifespan onto that spring. If you were to leave it loaded all the time, that spring is going to fatigue, and then it creates a gap space. So yeah, you'll fire off a bunch of rounds, but maybe your last couple of shots aren't going to fire, right? So that's what happens with a fatigue spring. So always remember to offload it. And you should, for safety's sake too, because these things don't exactly have a safety on them. And a lot of us have kids, and kids get into stuff, and believe me, kids can figure out how to get this to squash down enough to fire it. So even for, keeping the kids safe, so they don't do anything crazy with it, keep it offloaded. But that's the how-to. Check out my video review on this staple gun, as well as on another one that I have that's an even older model. And feel free to check out all my other videos too. And happy YouTubing.